right, welcome back. Now, some operatives of the Economy and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have raided offices in some Bureau de Change operators in Ibadan, Lagos, Abuja, Kano, amongst others. Report states that the EFCC, during the raid, arrested no fewer than 12 operators with shops in the Sabo area of Ibadan. Chairman of the Bureau de Change Operators, Aminu Ibrahim Babakande, confirmed the development. Similarly, in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigerian security operatives, including officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Wednesday, raided some Bureau de Change outlets in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, restraining over 100 operators. Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, the EFCC, had been raiding BDC hubs in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Kano. Some operators were also arrested, but it has not stopped the naira from further depreciation. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, on Tuesday directed operatives of the Nigerian Police Force, the EFCC, the Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit to go after forex market speculators as part of measures to stem volatility in the foreign exchange market. Stay with us here in the studio. We still have Mr. Session Okwade. Chesson.
Okay.
Jesus. All right, now, this whole situation of going after Bureau de Change operators, does this in any way have any effect to helping the naira from depreciating?
David, the answer is no. Small letter no, capital letter no, and if there's another word, no.
In italics.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
in
Moses.
italics.
Sincerely speaking, it's shocking that we are taking these steps, because what are the major indices that is actually causing this? The CBN on their own has injected funds. We've heard about $3.something billion, $500 million, preparation for another $10 billion to be injected. Rather than chasing the Bureau de Change, what are we doing about the politicians who have the financial muscle to buy off some of these things? An average Bureau de Change man is carrying out his own businesses. And I remember during the time of Emefiele, there was a time that we shut down the Bureau de Change. CBN were no longer giving them, foreign exchange. But because of the bureaucratic way of operation, an average person who travels and have access to foreign exchange will prefer to sell to an Aboki person. And if he needs it, he go back to the same Aboki person. Because when you look at the processes of bidding and doing some other things, an average businessman do not want to follow that level. He wants to do it as soon, as quick, as fast as possible to turn over his investment in carrying out his businesses. So when you look at some of these things, I am still finding it difficult to see the role, because I spoke with the Aboki that was actually on daily basis. I tell my staff to ask, what is the rate as of today? The Aboki said, Oga, if you want to buy, just let me. As we speak, we don't even have. We don't even have. But because of few transactions that you've always been doing with us, when you need, we'll tell you the rate and look at how we can get it for you. So when you are raiding the Bureau de Change, it is not about them. It's just like picking the foot soldiers. Where are the major player of the game? There are people that are buying this thing off the market. They don't even need to get to that particular places before they get those things stocked. I've said it. Where you look at, even during our own cash crunch, the big men, do they go to the bank before they have access to the funds? When you are complaining that there is no money in ATM, you get to the bank, they are telling you that the maximum they can give to you for cash is 5,000, 10,000 out of so much that you have. Some people, the managers of the bank are calling them, good morning, sir. I hope you have enough cash at home. We have some to deliver to your house. Same is applicable even for foreign exchange. Because they know the people that are actually having the funds in their bank account. They can make those things available too. So rather than picking up on the bureau de change, thinking that they are the speculators actually creating that pressure, we have much more problem. You see, you can speculate because you know that people are not doing the right thing they are supposed to do. If right things are done, we are not producing anything, and everybody knows that everyone needs this foreign exchange to get their materials into the country. And the bank is not, the CBN is not making enough, availability of the funds. So the alternative they resort to is the bureau de change. And anyone that have access to prefer to send to those bookies because they know they are going to have a little margin. Because that's where everybody tends to move towards. So if the monetary policy handlers are not getting it, even the ones that they have to do from the banking sector, how much of it are we monitoring?
Okay. Now, some people actually were of the opinion that Nigerian government are busy chasing, is like a man who sets on fire and the man is chasing rats. Those were some of the comments that people were making yesterday when the news of the arrests and all that broke out. And some of the persons were of the opinion that they should look inward and find better solution on how to make naira to stop falling, because even the bureau de change operators also have been affected. Now, I want to ask Mr. Sheson, what are the things you think the government need to do for this money actually to stop, for naira to stop depreciating every day? You just talked about making sure that the politicians don't really have the money. Now, bureau de change person, like you said, I don't have the money with me. And these are the people that people are pointing fingers to. So what happens if these politicians come up to say, we don't have any access to it?
I find it difficult for politicians to tell you they don't have access to that. Because most of the time they will tell you we're in the global space, they need to travel up and down and get certain things done. I'm sure those things don't come with naira. We use foreign exchange to get that done. Just recently our president went on private visit, and I'm sure himself and his entourage would have gone with our foreign exchange on a private visit. A lot of them still patronizes the foreign country for their health issues. And these things are what is really putting so much pressure, if you ask me. We seems to be majoring on the minor and ignoring the major thing. How can we improve production in the country in such a way that what you and I can make use of are produced locally and we can get them for naira? A lot of things that we are importing, if you ask me, in the 60s, in the 70s, were produced locally. How many assembling plants do we have? We keep saying FDI should come into the country when we have insecurity. And as much as we keep saying, just the last meeting of the president at the AU, we heard about him discussing with the Brazil president on businesses that the one we had at COP28, how much of it have we seen the dividend? The other one that they had the traveling, how much of it have we gotten back? So you cannot expect foreign direct investment in an unsecured environment that they cannot guarantee their lives and property. That is the first area I feel government needs to nip it at the bud in such a way that you need not to, you see, a secured environment, you need not to come to the TV station to be telling us that everywhere is secure. Possibly today will be the first time I'm going through the paper. I've not taken the full time not to hear of kidnapping or terrorist attack or killing. If it is not Katsina, it's Kaduna or Yobe. Or you see, you wake up with all sorts of news and you expect the foreign direct investment to come in and invest in an unsecured environment. The areas I feel the government needs to address as we speak, firstly, is security. Get the security right. Leave every other thing for an average Nigerian. And maybe the second that looks more like it will be the power sector. An average businessman, as we speak, is struggling because you have to run on alternative power supply. Last week Monday, my staff came, I approved the diesel for the office. And I know I approved 1,280 per liter. Just yesterday at work, they told me it's now 1,500. So how do you expect an average businessman to survive? And the power has suddenly collapsed.
Epileptic.
If he's epileptic, it's nice. I stay on a premium in an environment where I'm on premium with a particular disco. And before now, we are guaranteed of, if not 24 hours, at least we always get the prompt. The last message we had is that we will try our best to give you good power supply. But they can bring it, take it for more than 10 times as if they are flashing the light. So it's no longer epileptic, it's worse. So you can imagine the survival of an average businessman. So I keep telling the individual that if things are not addressed in the power sector as we speak, by the end of this month, come next month, there will be mass retrenchment. Because diesel that you're buying at the rate of 600 and suddenly has jacked up to 1,500, then all I need to do is that, can you stay in your house? Few of us will work from home because you can no longer cope with it. Because even your clients are feeling the bite. They cannot increase the costs at which you are giving to them. So when you cannot generate revenue, how do you take care of your expenses, most especially your staff?
And where does that leave us? Where does that leave Nigeria? If we go further to say it will get to a point where there'll have to be some people being relieved of their duty because we can no longer carry them. Where would that leave Nigeria?
Well, it's a question for you and I, Fina, to answer. But I can always tell you that things are not smiling. Whatever policy that the government claims that they are doing, asking us to be patient, we have been patient enough. The question I keep asking myself, even if the policy starts materializing, can we have import duty return back to 422 naira?
Return to normal. That's the big question.
That's the
because we
question
know
I
that
keep asking.
In Nigeria, when prices
Things
go
goes
up, they
up.
don't come down.
Gravity don't work.
So
It doesn't.
things return.
It doesn't. So that's why I keep saying that, can we look for a way to just put this on a constant move to say we are at 1,900 today. Let's just stay at this 1,900 so that we don't go further. Because you can imagine by the time we hit over 2,000 and government will say, okay, now our policy is working. Dollar is now 1,700. Does that impact anything? The cost of things that have actually skyrocketed will remain the same. And that's why we're saying things must be neat. Some of the policies that they are working on, which seems not. And I feel that when everything has failed, the only area they are not putting their eyes on is the area of corruption. People are making mass withdrawal that are supposed to be flagged by the NDIC or whosoever the regulators managing those things, but which seems to be taking our eyes off that area, and people are having their free day. There is no deterrent for people that are actually violating the law, and that's why you see the enormous number of people. You see, our diaspora remittances keeps coming in. You've had a lot of people high up there are actually pitying us and dishing out few $100, $150, $200, to come in and see how they can serve you. Because when somebody sends you, $100 now, which is nothing to them over there, that's like 190,000 naira with the current rate.
In money already.
Of course,
But unfortunately, you take that money to the market and it can't really buy you anything.
I won't want to share the experience when Madam gave me some bills and said we just need to do certain things. I said, are we throwing a party? That's the question. I feel for women these days because at times they
have to adjust a lot.
They are adjusting and they will just come and a lady said, I don't envy you men these days.
Don't even go there because let's not go there.
Sincerely speaking,
my partner came home one day and was telling me how she went shopping and a woman came and was buying the bones. They were selling bones of meat. They had taken the meat off and she said, oh, this is brisket, but my children will love it. She was buying them for 500 naira, in chunks like that. 500 naira.
Moses, that will shock you.
Bone.
They told me that in a particular place, a woman traveled because of this epileptic power supply. Some of the things she stored went bad. So she was crying, but had no option that she cannot consume that because they're already smelling. Took it and dumped it in the refuse. And family came to pack that they are going to wash it and eat. Something someone is condemning that we consider an hazard to your health. So is that, when they tell you that you won't go to the dunk to go and take food, it's practically happening. They said, in fact, the video that those people were like, no, don't worry. With the dead, that when we get home, we'll clean it, we'll wash it. And, encouraging say, when you wash it with salt or with certain things, it will kill the fungi. That's how terrible this is. And I don't know. I don't know if the handler of the economy are actually seeing the pain that people are actually. So these are the people that somebody wants to ignite protest.
Now, still talking about the free fall of the naira and DSS, two-in-one question here. Is it the job of the DSS to go arresting bureau de change operators? Isn't
the EFCC?
Pardon?
You mean the FCC?
DSS.
DSS.
DSS is what I said. Is it the job of the DSS to go arresting bureau de change operators? Now, that's one. Is it their job? Secondly, the bureau de change operators don't manufacture these currencies. They get it from somebody. And some individuals have come out to point fingers at bank CEOs as intentionally giving out dollars to individuals, bureau de change operators, to sell for them and make returns to them. And that's how they enrich themselves. So why can't the NSA instruct the DSS to go after those individuals, those bank CEOs?
Yeah, I think your conclusion answered my first question. The DSS are acting on instruction. Even if it is not their beat, someone gave the instruction. It's not their, the NSA said, DSS, EFCC, move out. And you know the way it is in the military, obey the last order. So they are only acting on the instruction of the NSA, but I would say that it is not, within their purview to chase the bureau de change. Like you said, there are people, you see, when we allow me to take it to this level of insecurity, most of the time we chase the shadow. The people that are actually acting the script out there are people that are funding them.
Of course, yes.
There are people that are funding them. Disconnect the fund. The people have nothing to do. So disconnect the people that are supplying the dollars to either the bureau de change or the elites that are having access to it. Then you discover that the normalcy will be there. Why are we actually pushing pressure on DSS? They are supposed to be doing other things, but we are asking them to be running after the bureau de change. People are actually pumping that currency. People have accused the bankers that most of the bureau de change, if not the high network ones, are owned by them. They rely. The foreign exchange gets to the bureau de change via two means: from the bank and also from individual that feels that they can sell at a good margin compared to what they will sell to the bank. So these are two areas that you need to get to. So you cannot hold me culpable to say, no, take your foreign exchange to the bank when I know that when I get to the bank, I'm not going to get good value. You must put in a policy in such a way that the bureau de change will not be patronized by individual because of the wide margin. Everybody is a capitalist, and we are out to make good margin for whatever we do. But
Right,
I feel that the policy of the government needs to be
pressed for
checked.
time, and we have to wrap this up and also let you get on with other businesses. We totally appreciate your contribution on the program, Mr. Sheson Okwade, who is a chartered tax professional and a chartered transport administrator. Thank you for coming on VOP this morning.
Thank you very much for having me, and the best of the day.
Well, up next on VOP this morning, FG to restart direct cash transfers to 15 million households. Let's talk about this one when we come back after this break.